Causes of the spontaneous abortion group, and in this the abortion occurs in first trimester or the second trimester. In both the cases, the most common cause is chromosomal abnormality. These chromosomal abnormalities can also be called as germplasm defects, and basically they are the fetal defects. They are present inside the fetus, so they can be also called as fetal causes. And let us see what are the chromosomal abnormalities which will cause these abortions. And in this, the most common is aneuploidy. What is aneuploidy? Any change in the number of the chromosome. We know that we human beings, we are made up of 22 pair of autosomes, that is 44 autosomes, and 1 pair of sex chromosomes, that is either XY or XX. So a total of 46 chromosomes are present, or 23 pairs of chromosomes are present. So if there is any defect in this number of chromosomes, it is called aneuploidy. So this aneuploidy is a broad heading. In this you can have triploidies, that is 3 sets of the entire chromosomes, or trisomies or monosomies. And in this trisomies, there can be trisomy of any of the chromosomes. And separately, monosomy can also be of different types, and most commonly monosomy of the sex chromosomes, that is Turner syndrome. 46XO is the most common type of monosomy seen. So now let's understand, if you are asked the most common type of chromosomal abnormality, how do you have to answer? If in your options you have aneuploidy, so this is a broad heading, so your answer will be aneuploidy. But if aneuploidy is not there in the option and you have another broad heading of trisomy, so trisomy will become the answer. And if trisomy overall is not there in the option, and instead of this you have trisomy of specific chromosomes named, so in this the most common trisomy causing spontaneous abortions is trisomy 16, which is responsible for somewhere around 16% of the spontaneous abortions. And if in the option you have monosomy X and trisomy 16, then out of these two, monosomy X, that is Turner syndrome, is more common. That is responsible for around 20% of the spontaneous abortions. So I think it is clear now. Now let's come to some more points which are very important from your examination point of view. And the most lethal trisomy, if you are asked, it is trisomy 16. The most viable trisomy is trisomy 21, that is the Down syndrome. The most common sex chromosomal abnormality is Klinefelter syndrome, and the incidence is 1 in 1000 pregnancies. And the second most common sex chromosomal abnormality is Turner syndrome, that is 1 in 2500 pregnancies. Now the most common factor for maternal abortion is maternal age. And if maternal age is not there in the option, then your second best is history of previous abortion. And in this, if there is previous history of 1 abortion, then the chances of abortion in this pregnancy are 20%. If there is previous history of 2 abortions, then the chances are 30%. And if there are previous 3 abortions, then the chances of abortion in this pregnancy increases to 40 to 50%. Now, infections, they can lead to single episode of abortion. Usually they do not cause recurrent abortion. And the most common time of abortion is the first trimester, in that specifically it is at less than 8 weeks of gestation. That we have already seen that of the total abortions, 75% occur before 16 weeks, and out of this also 75% occur before 8 weeks of gestation. Now let's discuss the maternal causes of abortion, and in this the mnemonic is timed O, where T stands for trauma, I stands for infections as well as immunological causes, M stands for maternal medical diseases, E stands for environmental factor and endocrine problems, D stands for developmental and anatomical problems, and O stands for obesity in the mother. Now let's see how do we divide the causes of abortions trimester wise. And in first trimester there are genetic factors responsible for almost 50% of the abortions. Then we have endocrine causes, immunological causes, infections and trauma. And the mnemonic for this is I tiger, where I stands for infections, T for trauma, I again for immunological disorders, G for genetic factors and ER for endocrine disorders. All these can lead to first trimester abortions. Then coming to the causes of second trimester abortions, and in this we have the anatomical abnormalities of the uterus, cervical incompetence, Mullerian fusion defects, uterine synechia, uterine fibroid, maternal and medical illness, and unexplained causes. So this was all about spontaneous abortions. Thank you.